Hey everyone, welcome. So, as many of you know, I've been keeping a deck that I've been playing for a little while now. This format, pretty well hidden, a good secret from everyone. I've asked a lot of people just not to share it and to keep it kind of secret what I've been playing this format. So today I'm going to bring you what I've been playing, as a lot of people have been asking me to make a deck profile about what I think is a really strong tier, I would say high tier 2, tier 1.5 deck. It's Eldlich Horus. There hasn't been much coverage on it, but this is something that Natty and I labbed together. When pretty much the Horus cards were first announced, this is something that we labbed and we really liked it. We kind of decided which one of us was going to play it, and it came down to me. Natty's more of the combo player. I'm more of the control player. So I'll just get right into the profile here. So the first card that we're actually playing right now is 3 copies of Imseti, Glory of Horus. Fantastic card. This card is really good in combination, obviously, with the Eldlich cards, as when you discard any of the Eldlich cards, if it's the spells or traps, during your main phase or during the end phase, you can banish those cards to get even more value. So you go +2 off of just the Imseti, and then you get another +1 off of whatever Eldlich card, whether it's an Elixir or Golden Spell Trap, that you sent to the graveyard as well. Now, Imseti is a high Ash target, so if you can bait Ash beforehand with something like Cursed Eldland, that's way more beneficial. However, that being said, Imseti pitching any Eldlich spell trap in its own archetype is still really good, because even though you go -1, you still go +1. It kind of like evens itself out because it gets your engine going. So let's say you do Imseti, pitch Guardian of the Golden Land, which we are playing at 1, and I'll explain why later. What you're able to do then, if you get Ash Blossomed, is you still banish the Eldlich spell trap, so in this case it'd be Guardian. You set Elixir, so that's +1, and then draw phase you can summon out Eldlich with whatever, and have the backup of whatever other 3 cards you had in your hand at the time. So in the end, you still end up evening out. It's just not as powerful. So if you can bait Ash before you activate Imseti, that would be way more effective. Next, we're doing 1 Duamutef, 1 Happy, or Happy, however you pronounce it. Now, the reason that I only play these 2 and not, I believe it's pronounced Kebetsinef, however it's pronounced, these 2 are really the only other good ones. I don't think the Kebetsinef is a good Horus card at all. It's a brick. I'd rather use the space for the other, the second talents that I have in the main deck, which obviously you'll see later. These 2 are really all you need, plus some SETI on field. This engine is it's a bitch to get around at the end of the day. People really don't know how to play against it. If you sneeze at any of these cards, it activates a bunch of effects. You're getting 2 cards off Happy, which Happy in this deck is crazy because while you're banishing your Eldlich spell traps, he can just add those spell traps back to your deck to keep your engine flowing, or back to your hand if you need the backup. And Duamutef, if they do anything in an Eldlich deck, mind you, you're drawing up to 4 cards. And so in a control deck, these are upside down, sorry. So in an Eldlich deck, drawing up to 4 cards is wild, especially because you're playing stuff in here like Lava Golem, Ash Blossom, Imperm, Nibiru, like whatever hand traps you're playing, or drawing into another Imseti, another King Sarcophagus for follow-up, like Duamutef and Happy are, in my opinion, from playing this deck for so long, they're on par with Imseti. Imseti starts your engine, but these cards really carry your engine, Happy and Duamutef. Happy, in my opinion, should always be the target of hand traps. This one is far more powerful than Duamutef. Just keeping your Eldlich engine going, especially if they Bestial or DD Crow, or in another way get rid of Eldlich and Graveyard, to banish it. You can do Happy just to add it back to hand, add it back to deck. Your engine never truly dies as long as Happy is alive. So we're playing Protect the Castle and Happy here. And then obviously we are playing 3 copies of King Sarcophagus. This one is honestly the most powerful card in the deck. Now, the most powerful monsters, that's another story. You could gauge between Happy, Imseti, Eldlich himself, but King Sarcophagus is the most powerful spell in the deck, probably one of the most powerful cards. This, again, works really well with the Eldlich engine because as you're pitching your Eldlich spell traps to send Duamatef, Happy, or Mseti to the graveyard, you're also getting those +1s every single time you send an Eldlich spell trap, because during your main phase, if it's one of the spells, or during the end phase, if it's a trap, you can banish them and just keep setting shit from your deck. So while you have King Sarcophagus and then 3 monsters on the field, you're also resetting 3 or 4 cards to your field from your Eldlich spell trap. So at the end of the day, you go plus like 4, 5, 6, 7. You go up to like +7, and then Happy being on the field gets any of those 2 back. Duamatef can draw. Mseti's protection. King Sarcophagus protects your Horus cards. It's fantastic. I would never replace this engine going forward. I think you have to play King Sarcophagus, the Horus engine, now and forever in Horus with, or non-Horus, with Eldlich, in Eldlich. Next, obviously, we're playing 2 of the Golden Boy, quarter century secret rares. Look how beautiful those are. We're playing 2 of them. You don't need 3. 3 is just too bricky. You only need 2 for your rank 10 Xyz plays. It's just a great number. You don't need 3. 3's a brick. What else can you say? It's the Golden Boy. 3 Cursed Eldland. Obviously, this is, you know, what can you say? It's an engine starter. Keeps your engine going. Searches your stuff. This card plus any King Sarcophagus or Mseti card, just insane. King Sarcophagus or Eldland, grabbing Eldlich, or grabbing a Golden Land spell trap, then activating King Sark, pitching it to dump a card, or Mseti, whatever you grabbed off of Cursed Eldland, pitch with Mseti, grab King Sarcophagus, draw a card. These 2 together, it might as well be an FTK. It's an absolutely insane little interaction you can do. It comes up all the time because it's all a 3. So it's very consistent. So the 2 spells that we're playing, 1 Black Awakening, 1 White Destiny. We are back to playing some of the other ones like Guardian and White Destiny because you really want to pitch these. And obviously we're in a format where DD Crow and Bestials are active, so White Destiny is also a good card in itself. Black Awakening never really comes up for the first effect to summon from deck. It does once in a while, but never really does. What this is really for is to pitch off of Mseti, to pitch off of Eldlich, and to pitch off of King Sarcophagus. So you have a lot of ways to get this card out of your hand into the graveyard, to banish it and set Conquistador, set Akero, set Guardian of the Golden Land. There's a lot of things you can set with this card. So we're playing both of these now, which they've worked fantastic for me. So now we're also going to play 3 copies of Akero. What can you say? This card's fantastic. Non-targeting, banish anything in the graveyard. It's a body. It goes with the Eldlich engine. You know, it's good. It's good to pitch off of anything. Off of Eldlich, King Sark, or Mseti. Also gets your engine going. And then, of course, you can't play 3 of those without playing 3 Conquistador. So we got 3 Conquistador. Most people should know what this is. It's you summon it, non-targeting pop if you control Eldlich, same as Akero. It's just good, and it's a body. You can send it to the grave, you know, pitch off of King Sark or Mseti. You can also send it to the grave as a pitch off of Eldlich, and you know, you can activate Eldlich, the Golden Lord's effect in graveyard, sending this to graveyard to get it back to hand to summon it, to make it a 3500 beat stick that can't be destroyed by card effects until the end of your opponent's next turn. And then, like I said, we are playing the one... Oh, got a little thing in here. We're playing the one Guardian of Golden Land. It doesn't come up for its actual effect to, like, you know, summon, and then, you know, if you're in like damage step, you can make someone's attack 0, 1 monster on the field, non-targeting, which is great. The part that this comes up for again, which is the reason I play it, you either pitching it off Eldlich, off of King Sark, or you're pitching it off of Mseti. So these are the reasons why that we play Guardian of the Golden Land now, because it flexes right into your Eldlich engine. So resets something like Eldlich or Black Awakening, White Destiny, or Scarlet Sanguine. So we're playing it now, and I'm not going to lie, I will never take it out. It has come up every single time for me. I love the card being in the main deck now. I think it's actually very useful. And once in a while, it will come up to, like, you know, body block and attack, which is always really nice because a lot of people don't have interactions for spell trap removal, especially in the main deck. Not a lot of people are running stuff like Cosmic Cyclone or Twin Twister, stuff like that in the main, so keeping that on field is really nice too. 3 Elixir of Scarlet Sanguine. What can you say? It's you can't play the Eldlich deck without playing 3 of these. Again, just another fantastic card. This is also, again, really good to pitch off of Eldlich, King Sark, or Umseti to get into your King Sark and draw a card, to set Conquistador or Guardian or Hakero. It's just a great card. And again, all these traps, once they're banished, you can add them right back to your hand off of Happy. So it's also really good to keep the engine rolling. We are main decking 2 anti-spell, 2 summon limit. These have come up so often. I love these cards being in the main deck. These sometimes can win games alone against stuff like Branded, against like Vanquish Soul, against TR Elements. Just really fantastic Floodgates. Only 4. You know, you're probably going to draw into 1. We're going to move on to hand traps, or somewhat hand traps. For example, I say somewhat because I do play double talents. I kind of see this as a hand trap. You know, it's kind of like an eye for an eye kind of deal. Rip a card, draw 2 cards, take control of a monster. The take control of a monster has come up against Pearly with a Noir with no materials. You take the Noir, you link it off for SP Little Knight, banish the My Friend off the field, so it's really good. Just really good for interaction. Most of the time I'm drawing 2, and I swear, every time I draw 2 off this card, it's the craziest draws. It's always Umseti plus like Guardian, or King Sark plus Cursed Eldland. It's some crazy draw 2 every time I use this card. I haven't used the effect of Rip Hands yet, just because most of the time with this deck, you're playing through a minimum 2 hand traps. Ash through the Umseti, Ghost Ogre through the Cursed Eldland, and you still have like whole engine here. You still have like King Sark plus 2 traps, so you're you're good to go. We are running for other hand traps. We're doing 3 copies of Infinite Impermanence, so you kind of have to run some kind of spell trap, hand trap, because Eldlich is in here. So if this is a brick, you can force out a negate with Eldlich instead. Send 1, summon it, maybe attack into like a Brone or something. I just find this card really useful. I think it's just a really good card this format too. 3 Ash Blossom, and I'm also playing 3 Lava Golem because you have 0 normal summons in the entire deck. You are never tribute summoning for your Horus monsters. You have no normal summons, so this card is an all-star hand trap. This card has come up so many times in so many duels, especially against decks like TR Elements, where this isn't an effect, it's just a condition of the summon. I will admit though, which we'll get to later, I didn't know that doing stuff like Lava Golem over Pearly board does trigger My Friend. I've never really read into My Friend in the field spell that deep, so I didn't know that. You know, I always thought it was a by card effect, not just by a card. So I didn't realize the game mechanic itself of just summoning Lava Golem would trigger some of that Pearly stuff. But now I know. Now I know. In the end, it didn't matter because I won anyway. So that's the main deck. What we're going to do now is we're going to go over to the side deck, or the extra deck, actually. So this was the card that I used against Pearly that triggered the effects, and, you know, what can you say? Lesson learned. One of these, 1 Apollosa Link 2s. We got B-Cop, Masquerena. We got 2 copies of Vampire Sucker. This card is insane. I've drawn insane off of this. It's a fantastic card. I love it to death. And then of course 1 SP Little Knight. I hate this card, but you have to play it. Like you don't have to play it. It's just you're not benefiting from not playing it or not having it. Xyz monsters are the rest. So 1 Photon Lord. This card is $84 for some reason. I really hope people start picking up the reprints instead. There's no reason for this card to be that expensive. It's not that great. It's just a monster negate for activation, so it's alright. Hope Harbinger, Dingirsu, Lancelot. Lancelot has actually come up quite often. I'm dead serious about this. I know it's like a mandatory negate, but attacking directly and then being able to just non-targeting or like targeting pop a card on the field, a monster. It's really good. I like it. It comes up in time too. Double Gustav Max, 1 Super Dora, and 1 Juggernaut Lieb. I do play this engine because it does come up in time. I've made 2 of these in the same turn before, just by having like White Destiny detach, White Destiny back out, another one, Go for another 2K, burn for gain pretty much. Super Dora is always a good one. Juggernaut Leave to clear fields. Yeah, just really, really solid extra deck in my opinion. And then for the side deck, I am running Baldrake Magnema instead of Duraswarm. I think Baldrake is really, really, really powerful right now against a lot of decks, more than Duraswarm in this case, because most of the cards that you have are light and dark. So, for example, if you have Conquistador, Hakero, if you have Eldlich on the field, if you have Imseti on the field, or if you have itself or Magnema, you have a lot of tribute fodder to use this effect to banish whatever special summon to the field. Magnemud obviously is just a good hand trap. Searches the Baldrake, end phase, you can Baldrake something. 2 droplet, this should be self-explanatory. You can pitch your entire hand, negate an entire field, and still go plus $1 billion. I am running 3 evenly. People are saying this card is format. I super disagree. I think this card is fantastic this format. I think you have to play it. Lancia. So if I'm going first, obviously I'm not going to be playing something like evenly matched. But going first, this card has come up in the past against Dimensional Shifter, against DD Crow, where you just, and even in End of Battle, they go evenly, and I'll chain Lancia. Nothing's getting banished off my field. Has come up, will come up later. 3 Solemn Judgments. I think this one is pretty self-explanatory. It's Solemn Judgment in a game like this, in a meta like this, and in a deck like this, I believe you have to run Solemn Judgment because you do hard lose to a lot of stuff. Lightning Storm, calling back row, it can be devastating if you don't have Happy, Duamatef, Imseti on the field, or King Sark. It can also be devastating if all you did was set 5 pass. So Solemn Judgment needs to be played in here. And then, of course, we are playing the double Lightning Storm, 1 Harpy's Feather Duster. You have to. There's a lot of other back row decks. If you ever get into a mirror match with another Eldlich player or another Eldlich Horus player, you have to have these in order to get ahead. It will suck if they have the Horus engine on board, but at least you'll get rid of their back row. And that's all. That is the deck that I've been playing very religiously for a little bit now. I have nothing but good things to say about this deck. I really do believe it's the most consistent form of Eldlich that has ever existed. The ceiling on it is so high. The defensive capability, the offensive capability, the OTK potential. You can OTK in Eldlich now, which is super fun. It's really funny to watch your opponent's faces, just like their jaw drop out of like getting Duamatef Happy and Imseti on board for like 9,600 damage or something like that, like some insane amount of damage. And you know, most of the hands are really, really strong. You know what I mean? It's, you know, Lava Golem, Cursed Eldland, you're good going first, you're good going second, you have follow-up. Lava Golem, Ash, Hakero, Imseti, there it is, Imseti, pitch Hakero, and you're good going first or second. Obviously, you do lose quite a bit to Ash. However, I think it's mostly I've been very lucky in that whether, like, if my opponent has Ash, it hasn't really affected me all that much. And if they don't have Ash, I'm just flying off. I mean, look how beautiful that is. Anti-spell, King Sark, plus 3 of these babies. You're just pitching this and this. You're setting a bunch of cards. You're getting your whole board online. Beautiful, beautiful deck.